I said I've been disassociating, escaping reality. I said, which is fine for a short while, but not realistic to do long term when I have to continue to be an adult. I have to continue to take care of myself, go to work, pay bills, take care of my home, etc. The last thing I want to do when I'm going through tough times is to be on camera, is to be even around people, period. Because I feel like a mess. But I find that during my tough times is when I need to be on camera the most. I need to create videos and express myself the most. But how do I balance my need to disconnect and recharge with my need to express myself, connect to the collective, create, and help others? And also when tough stuff is happening in the world as well, part of me wants to speak up, but also part of me feels too overwhelmed to. And then I wrote, and that's what I mean by going against my intuition, going against your intuition, your inner feeling, your inner calling to do something, your heart. I need to do what Gary Vee says and to take the weight off of myself, to be humble and realize that I'm just a 28-year-old woman with an opinion. That's it. Hello. Hi. Today I decided to turn on the camera and chat again because I feel like before I start to post the things that I feel like I want to start posting, I want to give you kind of another little, I just want to let you know what to expect on this channel from now on, or an idea of it, although I feel like, once again, I'm not set in stone. I'm just kind of playing around and seeing what happens. I'm trusting what internally I feel called to post or turn on the camera for and share. But anyways, okay, so I kind of want to also give another mini little update, because in the last video, although that was my official, my first video kind of back, I recorded that video last month, almost a month ago. And it's funny because, as you guys saw, I was talking to Gary Vee and he told me, to film it and do it now. And I did, I filmed it, but I didn't post it until weeks later. And that's partially, that's part me, but also life stuff started happening. I just experienced a lot of what we're gonna use the word that Gary Vee mentioned, and that's adversities. And adversity means going through some sort of struggle in life. When you're going through some sort of struggle, or you're feeling kind of like you're having an unlucky struggle time, that's what adversity is. So through that, I just neglected it. So the point is, that video, the last video you guys saw of me, that was a month ago. And as we all know, a lot can happen in a month. Clearly a lot could happen over 24 hours, as we're kind of going through this collective, this shift in all of the feelings and all of the things and stuff like that. So, which we'll kind of talk about a little bit, but I kind of just wanted to do another little life update that is more caught up or up to date. And also I want to bring in just a sample of what to expect on this channel, what I'm going to be talking about. Give you guys a little bit, a little taste of that. And then I'm going to close off the video with telling you guys what to expect. My goal is to post, once again, when I say my goal, I'm not gonna be perfect, because I'm still trying to get back on the routine of posting and blah blah blah. Once again, I'm not forcing it. It's something that I just want to enjoy doing. It's something that I'm trying to do to help myself get back into creative flow. So I'm not going to be hard on myself about it. But yeah, so anyways, but my goal is to post Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And there's specific things that I want to do for each of those days. So I'm going to go into more information about that. So life update, current life update. Then I'm going to talk about the current energy. You'll hear that a lot on this channel from now on. And so I'll talk about that. And then, which are going to tie into some of like the events that's been happening like collectively in the world and blah, blah, blah. And then after that, I'm going to talk about what to expect on this channel and what I'm going to have on each days and stuff like that. So anyways, that's going to be it. All right. So as normal, I'm going to start off. This is like my normal thing that I like to do. I still have a little bit of anxiety from turning the camera on. So like I said, I'm going to do my like little anxiety or just like centering myself truly. When I say anxiety, I say I have a lot of overthinking and a lot of like mental stuff going on, and I want to get out of that, because to truly create and to be in your creative flow, you have to be in here, like centered in here. So you're not supposed to be in your mind, because that blocks you from just being in flow. So what helps me to center myself back to like my heart and be in my body where I can just flow is like breath work, breathing, connecting to my senses. So I like incense and candles, and today I'm gonna be using vanilla incense. This one smells really good. And those are just the things that I like. I've found really helps me to get out of my mind and focus on my sense of smell and tap into like my body. So, yeah. And then I like to use a white candle because it's good to bring in positive energy. That's the easiest way to say it. I can go into more detail at another time, but it's just good. White candles are really good to bring in like positive energy, and also helps if you're super empathic or sensitive to energy. And yeah, it helps to clear and cleanse and bring in good energy. Okay. So yeah, I actually have a real candle this time. Last time I was, anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, so we have, do I want to put this here? Okay, I'm going to put this here. Okay, and then I'm going to do my breathing techniques, okay? I'm going to do that really quick. So I would suggest, I'm going to keep this in the video because I really do feel like we all as a collective need to get better at being comfortable in stillness and centering ourselves back into our bodies. There is a lot happening in the world. There's a lot happening personally and probably a lot of your lives. With both of those combined, it's a lot. You're gonna be, and we're all feeling it. The anxiety, the fear, the all of that. So that's within, but there's a lot of like mental stuff, like a worry and overthinking and uncertainty, and it's like all this energy that's just here. It's not helpful for anyone at all. Yourself, our future, any of that. So during these times and the rest of our lives, we need to really center ourselves, okay? Quiet the mind and get into our body, because that is how we're going to make the most practical decisions for ourselves and our lives, and also for the future of this world, and of our community, and on a big scale, and on a small scale, and a big scale, all that, you know? Like individually in our lives, and, you know, within our communities and neighborhoods and states and countries, all that stuff. So just know, when you react off of mental unstableness because of the heightened energy and everything that's happening in the world, it causes you to sometimes make irrational decisions, which end up making whatever the situation, it doesn't help. If anything, it makes certain things like worse in a sense, because, you know, so you need to get clear. So anyways, okay, so just imagine like feeling how I feel very, like, sometimes anxious when I turn on the camera, and your anxiety can make cloud a lot of things, and so for me to, it helps for me to get centered so I can think clearly, and I can, if, once again, depending on you guys' beliefs, I believe in God and a higher power, and it's like I believe that I open up the space to receive any guidance from God, from spirit, from, you know, and to, therefore I can receive that message and like be guided to what I need to do, or what I need to say, or anything like that. So we're vomiting already. So I'm gonna take a second to, and I suggest you all to do this too. If you don't do it often, if you don't do breathing, you probably will think it's silly in the beginning, and that's totally normal. The goal is just to do it and get in the habit of it, and then eventually you'll start to recognize the benefits of it. And I'll go into more details about that too at another time. But you want to breathe in, inhale for 4 seconds. So as you're inhaling, you want to count in your mind 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it for 4 seconds. So hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale out of through your mouth. So like that for 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, and then you want to hold it again, and then repeat. So that's it's a breathing technique called box breathing, and it's a good like beginner's guide to breath work that helps you to clear your mind and get more centered into your body. So we're gonna do that. All right, so I'm just gonna do that on my own terms, and I mean, I guess I could count. Well, no. I think you got it. So just, you'll see me doing it. Join me. Let's begin. Oh, well, I guess I can count off the first one. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's start off with the first one. So inhale in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then repeat. Okay? So that was a practice. Sorry. That was just a practice. I should have preferenced that. So I can't count and breathe at the same time, obviously, and I actually want to do this for myself. This is not like a guided meditation. I actually want to do it, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. I mean, what it will be like. So, all right, silence. Let's center. Okay. So I only did that for 3 seconds just for the sake of the video. I would have probably done it for 4 or 5 or until I felt like it was I felt really good, but that was helpful. Yeah, that feels good. I always feel, say, afterwards, after you do any breath work, you kind of experience like a little head high, and that's normal, and and that's the clearing. You know, you're bringing oxygen to the brain and through to the body, and you're clearing out any of that stagnant energy. And the stagnant energy could be anxiety or overthinking or worry or da-da-da-da, or, you know, so. All right, so for the start of everything, I'm going to start off with a little life update. I have a book, okay, that I wrote everything. I wrote notes on, so I'll be referencing it and reading it, because I journaled this during my morning meditation. So I kind of just wrote a lot. So I just want us to talk about, first off, I have been experiencing a lot of I'm going to continue using the word like personal adversities, aka a lot of challenges, a lot of challenging things on a personal level. And this year, like, it's weird because I feel like the last year, I mean, if you guys were following me when I was like recording, or like if you guys are following me last year before I took that big break, I was going through like grief with my grandmother, and yeah, that is something that I had to kind of get used to and work through. And then, you know, and at a point, you know, I don't know if I would say it got easy. Well, I guess right now I would say that, you know, things are easier in the terms of that, but it's still a weird thing to accept. So, but without getting too much into detail with that, I started to move into a positive like mindset again, or like positive energy. Like I started to find like joy again in life, I guess you would say. And I was able to move through or progress in my experience of grief. And then some other traumatic events happened this year, and those traumatic events caused me to be at the like within the hospital setting again, and it felt like I was having deja vu all over again of last year when I was in the hospital with my grandma. And it's just like, I feel like my whole last year and this year I have been in the hospital. I've literally like lived there, not lived there, let me not say that, but I've like experienced like being in the hospital so much at this point. It's crazy. As a person who used to be afraid of hospitals, or not afraid of it, but nobody really likes to be in the hospitals, you know? And I never really felt like I ever was really in a hospital, and the few times that I was like for, you know, like a birth or something like that. And not me, a family member. And anyway, so the point is, there was like it was like oh, you thought you were finished I mean, not, I don't even want to say that, but I experienced a rough couple of years. It was almost like after I, you know, finally healed or was moving in a positive direction with the grief, then there was another thing, that obstacle, adversity that happened in my life. And then there were so many at once this whole year. Oh my, like, okay, so then I started to realize I wrote that I have been experiencing lots of personal adversities that cause me to be physically, mentally, and energetically overwhelmed, which causes me, which makes it harder for me to focus, and it makes it hard for me to be productive, and it seems like it's so overwhelming for me that I eventually retreat and disconnect. And I just feel like that's my personality, and I just want to, and I need to be better with that, because girl, and you can't, shit is gonna happen in life, and you can't let that stop you from living. It's okay to take some time to disconnect and take care of yourself and retreat, but it's not just a day or two, for me, it gets hard for me to manage everything, and it's I sometimes worry that how am I gonna, I just can't do that. It's gonna stunt my growth and my success and my future of becoming a mother one day, and just certain things like that. And life is gonna happen, and I'm the type of person that things will happen in life, and then I would just stop taking care of myself, stop eating right, stop going to the gym. I wouldn't do my best at work because in the back of my head I would just be thinking about other things, and I had it literally felt like I had a boundaries issues, even when it involved other problems that were outside of me, but it involved people that I cared about. I would mesh myself into everyone's problems and make it my problems, and then and then there was no boundaries as to how much I was there for other people and myself, and it just, everything was merged together, and it just felt like this big clump of gum, sticky gum is the thing that I can think of right now. And it affected everything in my life. Like I said, my health, because I wasn't eating right, I wasn't going to the gym, I wasn't being active, I was depleted a lot. And then when it came to me doing my work, I felt like I wasn't doing the work right. I mean, to my best ability. And then my relationships, just certain things, and it was just this cannot keep happening to me, and it's interesting because I was talking to a friend, and I admire him off. Okay, why am I being weird? Okay, it's my boyfriend. I'm so weird. I was talking to my boyfriend, and he's very good at still being productive through adversities. And, he was still, he's been through a lot of his own things, as we all have, and he still somehow manages to go to the gym and take care of himself, and he's very good with establishing boundaries and saying no, and and still being productive, and being clean and neat. And I'm just and I had to sit down with him and be ask him for help because I'm how do you do this? And he just gave me a lot of advice, and I kind of joked around and was you know what, I'm gonna let you control my life for the next month, because I need to be he's just super productive and efficient, and once again, you would just never know he was going through whatever he's going through, because he just doesn't let it merge into his life, or still he doesn't let it stop him from taking care of himself and the things that he needs to do and stuff like that. It's kind of called, it kind of is, I guess it was be adulting, right? And I'm just not good at that, and I just can't keep doing that, because then I get to a point to where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I just look at everything and it looks literally like a tornado. Like I'm in my office right now and you guys can't see it, but it just looks like I have clothes that needs to be folded, that has piled up. The room is just a mess, and I just want to like rip my hair out. It makes me think of that movie Smile 2. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but I went to go see it recently, and that girl, okay, something about ripping hair out. Oh my gosh, but I just feel like, like why can't I get my shit together? Like why every time the things happen in life, I have to stop what I'm doing, or I don't have to, but I feel like I do, and put my whole life on pause, and then I end up feeling like just not like all over the place, okay, and not taken care of and everything like that. And so I need to stop doing that, okay? And so that is, and even when it comes to like me showing up on camera, like on video, like when the times you guys don't see me, I mean, well, not all the time, I mean, but a lot of the times that I have stopped being consistent is because I was going through I was dealing with shit and like personal stuff, and that's what I do. And it's like I need to stop doing that, because life is gonna life, and I have to respect myself and love myself enough to make sure I'm still doing the things that I love, regardless of whatever fires are happening in my life. Obviously, you know, if it's something major and I have to like experiencing, you know, losing my grandmother last year, like that makes sense, you know. But even with grief, it's not, you shouldn't, I mean, I feel like, you know, you should still try to make the effort when you get to a certain point to like do things that make you feel good, make you feel alive again. You know, because you just can't like disconnect and what do you call it? And escape reality forever. And I feel like I do a lot of this escaping, because it just, sometimes life gets overwhelming and people get overwhelming, and it's just so easy to just like go into my room, close the door, and escape and live in my own escape world. So I wrote down the themes of currently that I have been like going through to close it all up. And I said, I have been learning boundaries. I've been learning not to get away from people pleasing. So I was gonna say not to people please, but I have been learning to stop people pleasing. I have been learning to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I have been trying to take my life back and find joy again. Because once again, like, I feel like boundaries issues and feeling like everybody else's problems are my problems on top of my own problems that I have to go to. So everything is just unclear about whose is what and what is what and what is mine and what is other people's. And I just feel like, imagine being able to feel everybody's challenges. That's like on top of whatever other challenges that you have. And then you just feel like everybody's life is your life. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I have to like remove myself from just, you know, I don't know. I have to take, so that's what I mean, like taking my life back and saying, no, this is mine. And I have control over it to a certain extent, to be able to like take my life back out of the gunky, what do you freaking call it? What did I call it? Gum of a sticky situation. I don't know. And take my life back and just find joy again in my own life. Okay? It's just a point. And then I said, I need to learn to keep going even through obstacles, especially through obstacles. I need to learn to persevere. I need to learn perseverance. So that is what I'm working on. How about you? So what did I say? Okay. Maybe, okay, and then I just wrote a bunch of stuff, which I have to read. Let me see how much time do I have here. Oh gosh, hold on. I need to redo this. All right, I have literally 15 minutes left to talk. So I have to hurry up. Okay, so I said maybe like, oh, okay, I said I've been disassociating, escaping reality. I said, which is fine for a short while, but not realistic to do long term when I have to continue to be an adult. I have to continue to take care of myself, go to work, pay bills, take care of my home, etc. Also, the last thing I want to do when and then I said also the last thing I want to do when I'm going through tough times is to be on camera, is to be even around people, period. Because I feel like a mess. But I find that during my tough times is when I need to be on camera the most. I need to create videos and express myself the most. But how do I balance my need to disconnect and recharge with my need to express myself, connect to the collective, create, and help others? And I said, that's what I'm currently trying to learn. And then I said, I've kind of been trying to learn that, LOL. And I said, oh yeah, and also when tough stuff is happening in the world as well, part of me wants to speak up, and part of me feels too overwhelmed too. And then I wrote, and that's what I mean by going against my intuition, going against your intuition, your inner feeling, your inner calling to do something, your heart. I need to do what Gary Vee says and to take the weight off of myself, to be humble and realize that I'm just a girl, a 28-year-old woman with an opinion. That's it. And I'm sharing it for those who resonates with it, and those who don't, that's fine. So that is just kind of like the best way I can put everything without with respecting my privacy and the privacy of like others and just certain things like that. But the details really doesn't matter. It's just the overall themes that I know that I'm not the only one that's like going through that, and that's why I kind of wanted to just share that that's what I've been going through. So the next thing I want to talk about really quick is the current energy. When I talk about the current energy as an astrologer, and I guess like I hate to say spiritually connected woman, but I feel like I need to let people know that so you can know like my stance. I mean, I think that says, that gives you guys like that's I am spiritual based. I live a spiritual lifestyle. And that means like being centered, and I believe that like God speaks through me, and through me having quiet time with myself, I can listen to that inner guidance. And it just feels like an urge or like a thought, or or with like, it's just it comes through for everybody differently. But for example, like me meditating, the one thing that I do every morning is meditate, and then after I meditate, I'll write down whatever that came to my mind, and that that has helped me trust. Like, well, yeah, I'll write whatever comes to my mind, and then I also use cards. So I use, which you don't have to, but I like to incorporate like tarot cards or oracle cards, and those are literally like, just tools that help God, a higher power, speak to you easier, if that makes sense. Literally, you don't even need the cards. You could literally like write down your own like you like pieces of paper, like yes, no, da 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 da, and just ask God, like, you know, to tell you, like, you know, put it in a jar and then ask God a question, or ask whoever you identify as a higher power or whatever question, and then pull it out. And you know, it's kind of like how God, you know, people, you know, especially, well, when people say like God sent you a sign, or, you know, it's the same thing, but you're giving God the tools to make it easier for you, for him to send the sign, you know? So often I have found, like, whenever I will, like, you know, journal, whatever I journaled that came to my mind during my meditation, I will pull cards, and when I would pull the cards, the messages from the cards that I would pull will started aligning to the things, whatever I would journal after my meditation. And that's how I knew, like, I was building my intuition and the strength of it, and blah 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 blah. But then I like astrology as well, and so that's a whole another story. But that's just a brief thing. So when I say the current energy, I mean what's happening in the world astrologically. Like, you know, as astrologers, we're able to, like, you know how you look at your horoscopes. Everybody knows about horoscopes. Well, horoscopes predict what is happening in your life. And at this point, regardless if you believe it, it is, okay? Like, I don't even know how much, you know, but it's just, yeah, so astrologers are able to do that because they just learn, like, they've just learned how to read the astrology, and everything like that, okay? Just to not, yeah, I have to try to fast forward. So when I say the current energy, I mean what's happening collectively, astrologically. And then also I like to, like, pull cards for, like, the energy, the collective energy. I'll, like, ask out loud, you know, like, I'll ask for what's the collective energy, and then whatever cards I pull, blah, 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 it'll tell me that, okay? So this is something that I have been doing. Like, when you guys first saw me, I was starting out doing it for myself a little bit and trying to figure it out. And then over time, this whole year, I ended up, like, doing it for other people. And I now, you know, do my own astrology readings. I've done so many virtually, in person. Yeah, and then even, like, I include like tarot and oracle card readings in my astrology readings as well. I like to mix it and blah 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 blah. So I just have a lot of experience. Like, you know, now I can say that it literally has never failed me. Like, I already know. Once again, like, I feel like I'm, you know, as a lot of people who do this work, we're just vessels. We're just tools to validate what people already know within them. Sometimes, a lot of the time, you just need that validation, because a lot of us question our intuition. So that's when people get readings with people like, you know, astrologers or whatever, to just pretty much verify. Or maybe you're new to learning and developing your intuition. So, you know, that's, or, you know, or just certain things like that, you know? So anyways, I'm going to tell you what the current energy feels like, okay? And I just kind of just wrote down a lot. This is what happens, like I said, when I meditate and everything like that. After I just write down whatever comes to mind. So this is just what it feels like, okay? And it feels melancholy. It feels fearful, almost hopeless, tired, confused, uncertain, betrayal, mistrust. I said something like hidden. And then I started thinking about, like, the fact that we're in Scorpio season right now. And just know, whenever a sign, like, just, okay, how do I describe it? Whenever we're in a certain season, astrologically, so we're in Scorpio season, we are all going to experience the energy of Scorpio in different ways, okay? So let me just, that's the simplistic version of that. So let me just go into, like, themes for Scorpio and just Scorpio season overall. So transformation, to transform something, light and dark, don't take the words that I say literally too. Sometimes a lot of times it's energetic. It doesn't mean literal, and it's not here to I'm not saying this for you to think literally. But I said death and rebirth because that is what Scorpio represents. And that is normally not actual death. It's more energetic. Like, for example, you no longer, like, I have to put this to an end, this habit to an end, because it's no longer serving me and I can't. Or for me, like boundaries. Like, I had to cut off I literally had to go through like an end for me, like ending a relationship or something like that. That's a good way of putting it. Like, it's a death to that relationship, even though you both, I mean, you didn't pass away, but you're closing that chapter for good, and you're gonna experience a little grief towards that, even if it's not like, grief doesn't have to only apply to like an actual like death. You can grieve a lot of things, a relationship, a job, just certain things like that. So I said, destroy to rebuild, fear of the unknown, untrusting, trust issues, shared resources, loans, finances, hidden, private, secretive, control, investigative, a deep desire or a hidden desire for deep connection and intimacy, emotional depth, intense energy, intense emotional energy, but private, mental health, digging deep, change through discomfort, something that can no longer, what did I write? Move forward. So yeah, something that can no longer move forward needs to be, something that can no longer move forward, finding light through what may feel like dark times, finding light through uncertainty, fear, mental health, transition period, grief, grieving the end of something or someone, intuition, intuitive, music, I've said moody music, manipulation, magic, sensitive to energy, obsessive, and power. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave you guys with that. Okay, if any of those words have stuck out to you, or you've experienced that or feel that within your own life with other people or in a worldly country thing, just know that that is the current energy. Okay, so I did have other stuff to say, but I feel like I'm running out of time, and I kind of just want to, I'll just leave that right there. And maybe it's just not meant for me to say the other stuff right now. But I just want to leave you guys with that. So now I'm going to go to what to expect on this channel. So to sort of end off this kind of talk, I want you guys to know that I'm going to, like I said, try to post 3 times a week at least. On Sundays, I want to post I want to start posting like little mini vlogs that kind of give you guys a behind the scenes of my life and what I'm doing. So me, like I told you guys, as an astrologer, as a, I don't even know, I like a metaphysical practitioner, I guess you would say, as a social media marketer. Okay, let me hurry up. Okay, so yeah, so pretty much just all the stuff that I do, and just like I like to do things on new moons and full moons, and just my own little practices and my journey. Like, I do want to show you guys clips of that, the behind the scenes spiritual girl life living. I hate to say it like that, but I have to title it in ways that others can understand, like general things, but like, you know, that's just the thing, like just that. So I want to share that, and that's my goal to do on Sundays. Okay, then on Wednesdays I'm gonna start a podcast little thing. I don't even like to call it podcast, more like video cast, and it's gonna be called the Woo Woo Hour. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to leave that in. Okay, maybe, yeah, I'll put that. I'll claim that. The woo hour. If you guys see anybody else do this, then you know it's from me, okay? And it's going to be where I'm going to be getting on camera with the community and the collective, like you guys, and talking all about woo-woo things. And I like to say woo-woo because that's what a lot of people call like spiritual things, and I kind of like to play around with that word. Especially because it gives people a chance. Like, I want to talk to like a bunch of people who are skeptical, people who are new, people who have questions, people who have been in it for a long time, and I just want to talk to a lot of people. And I've been doing this kind of on my others. When I left, I did this a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna just be getting on camera, interviewing people, and talking all about spirituality, astrology, spiritual wellness, all of that, healing, all of that stuff, okay? Even creativity, beauty, all the things, okay? It's just gonna be like a mixture of all that. So if you would like to be a part of that, I'm actually accepting people like to interview with, to talk, just to have a conversation, literally, like two girls, two girls, whatever, having a conversation about all of those things, all of the above that I just talked about. If you need questions or guidance or anything like that, I kind of just want to do that. So I'll leave all that information in the description box below. Lastly, on Fridays, I want to do get ready with me videos. So that's going to be more beauty related and creativity and more fashion and that kind of stuff. Okay, so I gotta go. I just wanted to let you guys know that's what to expect, and enjoy.